Hey, welcome back, everybody. You had section 11-4, numbers 3 to 60, multiples of 3. Okay, here we go. Number 3, square root of 17 times square root of 17. That would be square root of 289. And the square root of 289 is 17. Number 6. 6 says square root of 3 times square root of a. Just multiply. Square root of 3a. Number 9. 9 says square root of x plus 2 times the square root of x plus 1. So we just multiply out the terms. It's like the distributive property. Distribute the x, so x squared plus 1x. Distribute the 2, plus 2x plus 2. X squared plus 3x plus 2. We can't go further because you can't square root each of the terms separately. You can only square root factors. If we factor this, we're back to where we started. This is what we're looking for. Number 12. Number 12 says square root of 2x plus 5 times the square root of x minus 4. Just like the last problem, we're just going to distribute 2x times both terms will give us 2x squared minus 8x. The 5 multiplies to both terms. 5x minus 20. 2x squared minus 3x minus 20. Number 15. Square root of x times the square root of 3x plus 4y. We're going to distribute the x to both terms. X times 3x is 3x to the second. X times 4y is 4xy. Number 18. X minus 3 times radical x plus 4. We distribute. X multiplies to both terms, so x squared plus 4x. The negative 3 multiplies to both terms. Negative 3x minus 12. Number 21. Radical 15 times radical 6. This multiplies out to radical 90. Can we simplify that? 9 to 10. We can square root the 9. Another way we could do this is we could factor everything. So radical 3 and 5 for the 15. Radical 2 and 3. Now, if you remember in number 17, this will just give you 17. So if we can find pairs, like here, that'll just be 3. Radical 3 times radical 3 is radical 9. Square root of 9 is 3. The leftover is 5 times 2, which is 10. So we can attack it both ways. Number 24. Radical 12 times radical 18x. I can split 12, 4 and 3. I can factor the 18, 9 and 2, and I'll keep the x separate. Square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 is 3. The leftover is 3 times 2 times x. So that'll give me 6 radical 6x. Number 27. Square root of 10 times square root of 10. That would be square root of 100. Square root of 100 is 10. Number 30. Radical 6a. Radical 18a. A squared, 108 a squared. Square root of a squared, I'm going to factor the 108. 9 and 12. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of a squared is a. The 12, I can go further. I can split that into 4 and 3. I can square root of 4. That's 2. 2 times 3 is 6a radical 3. Number 33. Radical AB times radical AC. If I multiply, I'll have a squared BC. I can square root the a squared. A. I can't do anything with the b and the c. That's still under the radical. Number 36. Radical 15mn squared times radical 5m squared n. Okay, I'll square root what I can. The n squared and the m squared. That would be m and n. Let me multiply the rest. 5 times 15 is 75. M and n. I can factor the 75. 25, 3. I'll separate the m and. I can square root the 25. That's 5. I can't do anything with those, so that's left under the radical. 3mn. Number 39. Radical 50ab times radical 10a squared b to the 4th. I'm going to square root what I can. The a squared and b to the 4th. Square root of a squared is a. Square root of b to the 4th is b to the 2nd. Okay, I'm going to multiply the rest together. 50 times 10 is 500 ab. Can we go further? The 500. I can factor that. 5 and 100. The a and b squared stays the same. I'll separate the a and the b. I can square root the 100. 10 ab to the 2nd. I can't do anything with that. 5ab. Number 42. radical 7 a squared b times radical 42 a to the third b to the second. I can square root the a squared and the b squared. That's just a and b. Ooh, okay, we'll just multiply the rest together. 7 times 42, 294. B and a to the third. Ugh. How can I factor the 294? Six and 49. Okay, if you're wondering how I figured this out so quickly, I'm actually looking at the 7 and the 42. The 42 here is 7 and 6. The 7's multiplied to 49. The 6 is what you have here. So that's the 294. The a to the third, I can split that up into a to the second and a. And then b is what's left. Okay, we'll square root what we can. The 49 and the a squared. 7. This is a times another a is a to the second, b. And then the 6a and b are what's left. Number 45. 45. Radical 15 xy to the 12 times radical 3 x to the third y to the fifth. Ooh, the only thing I can square root straight away is this y to the 12. That's y to the 6. Okay, I'm going to multiply the rest together. 45 x times x to the third is x to the fourth, and then y to the fifth. I can factor the 45, 9 and 5. Oh, I can square root x to the fourth. That would be x to the second. Y to the fifth, I can separate into y to the fourth and y. Okay, we're going to square root what we can, the 9 and the y to the fourth. That would be 3, the x squared. This would be y to the second times y to the 6 is y to the 8th. And then we have a 5 and a y left over. "48. 48 says radical 12 x to the third times radical 5x times radical 45. There's nothing I can square root right away. So, okay, instead of multiplying them all together, I'm going to separate them into factors. The 12 can be 4 and 3. The x to the third, x squared and x. 5x, the 45, 9 and 5. Okay, I'm going to square root the 4, the x squared, the 9. This is 2x and 3. So that will be 6x. What am I left with? Radical 3, x and x is x to the second. 5 and 5 is 25. I could square root the x squared and the 25. This would be x, this would be 5. So 5 times 6 is 30. X times x is x to the second. And I still have a radical 3. $51. 51 radical 2y times radical 3 times radical 8y. Okay. 16, 20, 48. Y to the second. I can square root y to the second. That's just y. The 48. 8 and 6, not good. 4 and, oh, here. 16 and 3. I can square root to 16. That's 4. I still have a radical 3. Number 54. Radical 18 times x minus 2 times radical 20 times x minus 2. If I multiply them all together, x minus 2 occurs twice. 18 times 20 is 360. I can square root the x minus 2 squared. That would be just x minus 2. The 360 I can split into 36 and 10. Square root of 36 is 6. I can't go any more with the 10. That's the answer, 54. 57. Two to the 109 times x to the 306 x to the 11. I can square root x to the 306. That would be x to the 153. The square root of 2 to the 109. I can't do the 109, so I'm going to split into factors. 2 to the 108 and 2. X to the 11. I'll split it also into factors. I cannot square root the 11. X to the 10th and x. Okay. I can square root these now. This would be 2 to the 54. This would be x to the 5th. Combined with that, that would be x to the 158, 2 to the 54. And under the radical, we still have 2x. Number 60. Radical a squared plus 4ab plus 4b squared times radical a plus 2b to the 32nd. We can square root this. It's completely factored. That would be a plus 2b to the 16th. This hasn't been factored yet. If I go to two sets of parentheses, a and a, I need 4b to the second. 2b and 2b. Does that give me the 4ab in the middle? 2ab, 2, yeah, okay. So this is a plus 2b to the second. If I square root that, that's another a plus 2b. With this would give us a plus 2b to the 17th. Okay. Hope that helped. We'll see you in the next one.